текущего момента мы перестаем говорить про регуляторику.
We stop talking about regulations, and we will talk about business, CEO of cyber security, what CEOs want from cybersecurity, life hacks, life tricks. We'll talk about it today and tomorrow. Less rhetoric, more practice, business-oriented. Let me introduce the participants of our session who will be answering my questions and your questions too, because I think that you're more interested in listening to the people who deal with business, not me. And they prove how to invest in security, why it's important to do that, why it's important to expand the staff, and why it's important to raise the funding. Albina Askerova, Head of Information Security.
Denis Горчаков,
CISO of Одноклассники Network. Denis, we don't have smoothies today, sorry. Roman Shapiro, he's still an independent expert.
Артем Кунгурцев, начальник управления ИБ.
Artem Kungurtsev,
и Евгений Пущенский, директор
Head of Information Security Department, and Evgeny Pushevsky of CISO of Цифровая платформа company. I'll ask a question to all of you. How positive is your experience of communicating with business? Do you get support from the business, or it's always a battle for you to prove that you get your pay for real doings? Alexei, thank you for the questions. As an independent expert, I can talk about different experience about my friends, for example. So I had a friend, and Albina knows all words. No, she could actually tell the stories herself, but let's speak frankly. When you communicate with business, you need to clearly understand what business wants, and they want one thing: they want to save money and to get profit, and it's absolutely reasonable stand. When you come to them with the idea that information security is very important and it provides a lot, and for business it sounds like how much money I'm supposed to spend to get rid of this person, and to explain to business why it's important to them and to find those painful points and that are so important for them. I try not to use your most favorite term, though. So that's why your communication to business is always productive. But it's productive only if you speak the same language with them, using talking money, some other things, any other communication in terms of saying that it's needed because this, and that. It's not going to be understood. They don't want to deal with you as a security person. So we're not talking about regulations, but regulations should be followed, and so this is our priority, and compliance is our priority. But we always need to explain to business how this compliance will help him or them with their business. We're not saying that the business is one person in the organization. In business, it's always many areas, many projects, many people. And when you speak to every single one of them, you have to personally explain to them why they need that, how this compliance regulation will affect their business. That's why it's pretty cynical and quite understanding. So regulations and compliance is cornerstone, and the security, following security requirements, it's important. And I would like to add to what Roman said. I'm from not just really business, but it's more like a humanitarian. So in any case, it's your skills, and you need to adapt, you need to adjust to every CEO you talk to who is responsible for their business. There is a CEO and his deputies. You speak to CEO about their values, about their things, and with the deputies you speak their language, whether they're financial experts and or those who deal with procurement and stuff. You talk to them about the pains they have, so about their zones of responsibilities, those that they consider the main ones in their company. So then it turns out that the head of information security, they're more like analysts. So it's less technical, it's more like psychological issue, right? Today we heard that. Today it's important that the security expert, it's not like they just follow the requirements of the regulations, then they need to understand what the company is for, what are strategic goals, and if it's a public organization, what their souls, and if it's a business and commerce, then it's another thing. So of course he or she must be from the system, have a systematic understanding, so what the organization is for, what this company is for. And of course psychology in some ways, yes, it's needed, especially when you need to find certain arguments to support your statement. I would continue what Roman was saying, paraphrasing. Who the fuck is Mr. Business? So what is business? And by the way, you like to spread this ideology talking to business. So, but who is business? It's from the poster you see this image of a capitalist who is making money. Well, actually, these are people and different people. And these people in the value chain, they make their decisions. They play their role. They play an important role. The product director, if it's marketing director, if it's a gaming director, CEO. So they pay my salary in information security. Who is this business? These are people, and each person has their own interests, their goals, their targets, KPIs, and all of them are moving in their own direction. And I think it's wrong to put all these people in one pool, kind of faceless business. Otherwise, you have an illusion of an abstract portrait of an absolute evil that is called business that doesn't give you money, and they reject all your proposals. So that's why I'd say that these are particular people, and what's important for them, that you're available, and they can talk to you, and they can tackle their issues with you. So if you're available, they help you to resolve your issues, you help them to resolve their issues, and you live in one system. And as soon as you don't have this faceless business figure anymore, and you actually have like 10 or 20 or whatever number of people that you build a relationship with in this organization, and you have these connections with them, and you talk to all the heads of the departments, so you can see what tasks they have, what values they have, and you may be working on this common issues. Somebody asked me, how do you communicate with CEO? I write them in Messenger, and then they call me and they say, so let's get together and see through those points that you sent to me. It's not like somebody who is so scary that you have to go there to report to them and to show them a presentation with slides and stuff. No, it's not like that at all. No, just regular communication, just write them or you call them on the phone. The point is to be available for them. Quite often, they rebuke security experts that they speak kind of their own bird language. But marketers may speak their own language too, that marketing campaign or like conversion and some metrics that you don't understand right from the bat. And
скажем, тебе это знакомо и доступно.
Ну, ты же знаешь теперь, что такое NPS и DAO?
So now you know what NPS is, right?
Я знал давно, но это
I knew it long ago.
В любом случае, как сказать, ты в лице кого-то из коллег видишь того самого чувака из мемов, который на доске
looking at some of your colleagues, you can see this person from those memes, who is trying to explain something to somebody.
Так же, как выглядят так некоторые безопасники, точно так же могут выглядеть.
By the way, some of the security experts look like that, like there's those nerds. Some people learn how to understand our language, we learn how to understand people's language, of those marketers and other people. So
кто нам мешает, как нам кажется, тот нам поможет, да?
actually, as they say, those who we think intrudes, interferes with our business, actually can help us. Artyom, the same question. Artyom, you have a more difficult situation. You don't have business as business. You have a classical public organization. You don't make money. I mean, at least I think that. Maybe you do. And probably you can't write something to Sergei Sobyanin, the mayor of Moscow, and he respond you something. Of course, if I could write something to him in the chat, I wouldn't be here. So what was the question? So how to build a relationship with them? So the relationship is built very well, and this is what my colleagues used to speak about. I know their way, those independent experts, their way into the industry. So I could explain how is the relationship built with the management, whether it's business or not business, or it's a big state corporation. It's built on one very simple value that all of us are building: is friendship, family, love. Yes, this is what it's built on. And in my view, it's all built on trust. You can be whoever, you can be a genius, you can speak bird language, you can speak business language, there can be huge background, and you may cost a lot. But if for some reason your CEO doesn't trust you, or you didn't earn your trust, or you still didn't earn your trust, or you may earn it in the future, but if there is no trust, how can anybody trust you? Money, business, secrets, what to build it on. So that's why the first, most important thing to me or to my team is to earn the trust of the management. And my colleagues just talked about this. They said, they spoke about values, the common languages you speak to other people, but the key goal is to earn trust. Because our CEOs might live in their own world, and sometimes we don't understand this world, but when we are needed, we should be there on standby. We should help them and bring all our skills and tools and help them. So if we didn't do it once or twice, so then probably they're going to say, so we should part. So trust, that's the main word that I wanted to say. Thank you. Evgeny? Evgeny, you will have your presentation about conveying values to those stakeholders. Who are these stakeholders? So cybersecurity head who has to talk to Alexei. Thank you very much. Well, first of all, I absolutely agree with all the previous speakers.
На этот счет есть некая концепция.
We have a concept. This is Director of Information Security of Positive Technologies, Evgeny Pushensky. Answering your question,
надо помнить то, что общение с бизнесом.
We need to remember that communication with the business, it's a two-way street.
Действительно должны предлагать, но в то же самое время мы должны
should listen, we should offer, but at the same time we should guess, we should
готовиться к ней.
be able to guess a new need, talking about the business and in our understanding what business is, and based on my experience,
Это там, порядка 10
business is about
заинтересованных лиц, которые
10
могут повлиять на
stakeholders.
нашу повседневную работу.
They can
Это и
impact our
технический
everyday
директор,
work.
и
This is a
финансовый.
technical director, this
Финансовый
is a
утверждает
financial
бюджет, очевидно,
this
технический
director.
поддержит
They
или не
approve
поддержит
the
позицию
budget.
при
Technical
защите
director will
СУПП.
support your
Кадры,
position
понятно,
or
персданные,
not when
и
you
опять-таки
talk
штат.
to
Точно так
the
же
technical staff,
кадры на
and
своем уровне
then
могут задать больше вопросов или поднять
HR.
вопрос
They
на
ask more
генерального.
questions at a
Соответственно,
certain
договоренность
point.
с
They
ними
may
также важна.
raise this matter with the CEO. So it's very important to be friends with them. So if the risk manager,
IT-директор, если
IT
вы
director,
находитесь
of
не в его
course,
подчинении. Ну и
if
так
you
можно
are
продолжить.
working under
Вопрос, кто,
his
да, влияет на
supervision.
наш с вами процесс.
So the question is, who is influencing our daily work? This is whom you need to build a relationship with. But we have quite a positive experience in terms of growing and positive cases that we had, and I'll talk about them later. Albina, back to the pain points and what Artyom mentioned. A new person comes to the company, or the current information specialist, information security specialist now get a raise and became a head of security. So how to make them trust,
Хороший вопрос.
how to earn their trust? That's a good question. From my experience, I can say it's not always that you come to the team that by default everybody trusts you. So that's an issue of dialogue, of communication. You can just directly to talk to someone kind of friendly, in an informal situation. You can talk to people through direct questions, but through these direct questions, your goal wouldn't be the answers to those questions, but thoughts that will be in the heads of those top people whom you're talking to, that security is not a requirement, a mandatory requirement. It's just part of the function. To interest them, we need to tell them that security doesn't interfere with the business, but make the zone of responsibility, make them better. And from my experience, I know that I never got rejected in this dialogue or conversation. Of course, you don't go to them every day to talk like that. If you're lucky, maybe 3-4 times you get this chance, but this dialogue should be quality communication through key questions and good feedback. You can do good. For example, you as a person who's responsible for business processes, you can ask this question. So in your opinion, what is important for the company? And thus, from the person himself, you can get an answer, actually see what values they have. Maybe for them, it's something different, maybe. And through these thoughts, you can bring the person to understanding what it is, and they will demand that their security needs are met. And sometimes it works the other way around. So when you talk on your level with different divisions, and now they understand that security is important, and when you get the support from them, then you get to the top management, and you tell them, so in this process, these and these functions should be introduced, and you don't go there alone. So you have these people who are backing you from those divisions, and they say, yes, we will allocate time and resources for this. Yes, thank you. But under you, information security is under whom? It's under the CEO. It's a bit easier. So I've heard this idea that one of the regulators was saying, so when they appoint the person who is responsible for information security, so there is
Но тут же опять вопрос того, как выстроить взаимоотношения.
CEO
Да, то есть
deputy who's
коллеги говорят, это
responsible. So
доверие,
now
да,
you're
а
under the
сегодня кто-то
deputy. So
говорил,
how are you going to build
когда
this
как раз
relationship?
секция
As
первых лиц
some
была,
people were saying
кто-то
that
называет
this is
доверие, а
trust.
кто-то говорит,
Somebody
да
said
ну, мне главное,
trust,
чтобы
but some
если он
people say
уйдет
no,
в
it's important.
моменте,
So what's
чтобы
important? So
процесс
if this person
продолжал
leaves, so that the process
работать.
would
То есть
go
мне
on.
нужно
So
как-то
so I
подкрепить
need
того,
somebody
что
who is
действительно
a function that can be
все, что человек
replaced.
делал, я там знаю, могу
And
проверить,
then
могу
everything that
убедиться,
person
что
does,
не
I
только
know what
надо
they
верить, как
did, and I
проверяем, но
can
проверяем в
check and
таком
see what's.
формате.
It's kind of not just
Спасибо,
trust, but
Роман.
check too.
Вот тот
Роман?
же самый вопрос, как добиться
The
этого
same
доверия
question:
для особенно
how to earn
новичка
this trust,
и
especially
вот
for
у твоих друзей
newcomer to the company.
подчинение директора ПИБ, оно идет под IT,
And
под
among your
службу
friends,
безопасности, прямое
whom
подчинение.
the
И с кем чаще
information
приходится
security
общаться?
person
Леш, ну
reports
давай,
to,
если
answers
ответить на
to.
этот вопрос полностью,
Well, to answer
то
this
я займу там
question
все эфирное время,
in
наверное,
full,
и мы
I'll
будем
probably
только слушать различные
У тебя
варианты.
take
много
all
друзей
your
в Израиле,
time.
да.
Друзья же они же такие, как
So,
это сильно распространенные по территории Российской Федерации шарят.
so my friends are spread
Давайте
across
я
Russian Federation,
попробую
so there are
резюмировать
many of them
маленькую мысль из
who
того, что говорила
have that. So
Альбина.
let me just sum
Альбина
it up.
сначала в первый раз, вот ты
What Albina
сказала, что
said.
это не должно быть
She said
манипуляцией.
that it shouldn't be a
С
manipulation.
высоты вот там, как это, опыта и общения с
Based on
друзьями,
my
я могу сказать,
experience
что
and talking to my
общение с
friends,
топами это
I
всегда
can
такая
say
же
that
манипуляция, как вы
communication with
общаетесь с
the top
друзьями, со
management,
своей семьей на
it's the
уровне
same kind of
доверия.
manipulation
Это не всегда
when you
плохо.
talk to your
Вы же не
friends
можете
and family
человека обижать
on the
просто
level of
потому, что
trust.
вам
You
сегодня это
cannot
захотелось. Вы
hurt
ему
the
можете
person
сказать
only
что-то
because you
доброе,
wanted to
что
hurt
будет
the
не совсем правдой с
person.
точки зрения фактов, но отражать текущую картинку в том виде,
It's not
котором
going to be
она есть.
truth.
Если вы умеете общаться с
If
бизнесом,
you
это
know
вы
how
умеете
to
общаться с
communicate to
человеком, я здесь
business,
поддержу
then it
Дениса
means that
в
you can
полном объеме.
communicate to any
Когда
other
вы
person. And here I
разговариваете,
support what Denise
независимо от
said.
того,
When you talk
министр
to
это ваш руководитель
anybody, no matter if
департамента
it's a
или это
minister or the head
CEO
of your
большого
department
крупного
or if it's
холдинга, вы всегда
CEO, a big
разговариваете с
holding,
человеком.
you
И
always
вы
talk to a
должны
person
понять, с кем вы
and you need to
разговариваете,
understand whom
и
you're talking
какие у
to
него вещи и важны действительно. Это
and
может
what
быть
things are
манипуляция,
important
потому
for
что
this
вы
person. It
апеллируете к
can be
страху. Это
manipulation
может быть
because you
манипуляция,
appeal
если
to
вы
the fear,
апеллируете
maybe.
к вопросу
It can be
постановки
manipulation
каких-то
if
сверхцелей и их реализации
you
больших
appeal
и
to
подвига.
certain
Это
high
может быть
goals
абсолютно
and
разные
how
вещи,
these goals will
которые
be implemented. These
человеку
can be different
дают
things.
возможность раскрыться.
And these
Это
things
неплохо.
give a
Это
person a
не
chance
что-то
to
как это
open up. And it's not bad.
завязанное на постыдное зарабатывание денег или что-то еще.
It's
Это
not that
ваша
something that is
возможность
tied to
разговаривать с
making money.
человеком.
No, this is
Если
your
этот человек
chance to talk to the
реагирует на
person.
ваши
And
высказывания,
if this
неважно,
person
кем вы будете подчиняться,
responds
вы
to
можете
what you say,
подчиняться
no
в
matter whom you
IT-блоке
report
и
to,
рассказывать
you
IT-блоку,
can
как безопасность
report
поможет вам,
to the
условно говоря,
IT
своими
function
инструментами
and you can tell
свести
them how the security can
инфраструктурные
help
вещи и добиться
uh,
положительных результатов и
with
выполнения
infrastructural
KPI
things
айтишников.
and to have
Вы можете
positive
быть в блоке
results and
безопасников и на прямого подчинения.
fulfill
Вы будете рассказывать
KPIs.
генеральному
You
директору
can
о том,
report
что
directly
его
to
личные
CEO
цели
and
могут быть
you
выполнены
can
через ваши показатели. Ваша
tell the director
самая
that
главная
their
основная задача
personal goals can be
научиться
achieved
разговаривать с
through the
людьми.
security
Все мы люди, все мы
KPIs. So
человеки,
you need
и
to learn
никому
how to
еще
talk
не
to
было
people.
что-то
All of us are
человеческое чуждо.
people,
Просто надо
and
найти, с
people
кем
are
вы
people. We
разговариваете,
just
это
need
понять
to
и действительно
find the
апеллировать к
person,
этим вещам.
understand the
Если
person,
говорить про практику,
and
Леш, 2 секундочки. Чаще всего
talk to them on the
безопасность это
human language.
действительно
What's in
отдельное
practice?
направление или подчинение этим.
Information security
Если
is
говорить
its own
про
area.
процентное соотношение, наверное, процентов
If
70
we talk about the
моих
ratio,
друзей подчиняются
maybe
непосредственно
70% of
руководителю,
my
генеральному
friends, they
директору
report
или
directly to
ЗГД
CEO
ПИБ, или в
or to the
каком-то
deputy
уровне.
of CEO,
Процентов 30 это нахождение в
and
IT-инфраструктуре.
30% of
Но
them
все
are
те
in the
успешные
IT
ребята, с которыми
department.
мы
But all
общаемся,
those who are successful
абсолютно неважно, где они
that I
находятся, в
talk to,
каком блоке. Важно,
no
как
matter
они
where
умеют
they are
доносить
and
свою
what
мысль наверх.
function of the company, it's
Спасибо.
very important how they
Денис,
convey
вот
the
как
ideas
ты помнишь,
to
у
the
нас есть
top
чатик
management.
результативный
As you
CISO в
remember, so
Телеграме.
we have this
И
chat
там такая
in
картинка,
Telegram,
что из
and there is
800
this picture
человек
there that out of
регулярно
800
что-то
people,
вбрасывают, отвечают
they
ну, человек
regularly
20-30,
throw
остальные
something there.
молчат. То
Only
есть это такие
20 to 30 people
интроверты.
they
Наверное,
respond,
все
but
они
all the
ЦИСы или
others
там зам
they
ЦИСа
are silent.
директора
Maybe
ПИБ, руководителя отдела
they're
защиты информации. Ну, то есть они
directors
занимают некую
of information
руководящую роль, либо
security, or
стремятся туда,
they're
но они
some officers in
молчуны.
the
Вот
company and they want to be in the chat, but they're kind
насколько
of silent.
интроверсия
So
человека
So what about
мешает
this
ему
being an
общаться
introvert?
с бизнесом, опять же, в
If
понимании
person is
того,
an
что это разные
introvert,
люди.
does it
Или
gonna
на самом
interfere, does it
деле этому
stop
можно
them
научиться, но ломает
from
себя,
talking
чтобы
to top
постоянно
management, to
приходить к
business,
кому-то
and
и говорить, что у тебя болит, а давай я тебе помогу,
so
расскажи о своих
how that
потребностях, а
works?
может быть я их
Maybe
могу
tell me
удовлетворить и так
about
далее.
your
Ну, ты спрашиваешь человека, который хлеб не корми, дай с кем
requirements or
Да,
поболтать.
вот именно
needs.
поэтому.
You're talking about the person who just
Слушай,
likes
это
talking.
в целом, если у человека даже не природное
So,
качество, но вполне себе нарабатываемое. То есть
this
у
quality,
меня
this
просто есть
skill
ментор, там, IT-директор крупной корпорации. Да, я к
can
нему
be
хожу советоваться
trained.
периодически. Человек
I
от
go to my
природы
mentor,
жуткий
who is
интроверт.
just by nature, he's
При
incredible
этом,
introvert.
будучи старшим вице-президентом, ему, естественно, нужно
And
много
by
говорить,
being
много общаться
the
с людьми,
senior
мотивировать
vice
свою
president, he has
команду
to
и так
talk to
далее.
people, he has to bring
Что я
people to
могу
his team.
сказать?
What can I
Если у
say?
тебя в голове есть мозг,
If
то ты вполне можешь научиться,
you're not
и у тебя
brainless,
это будет
you can
получаться не
actually
так
learn how to
естественно,
do
может, как
that,
у людей,
and it
с которых
will be
слова
done
исторгаются, как
naturally.
вот водопад, но вполне себе
So
это доступно.
I think
В
that
той
this is
мере, в которой
possible
человеку это нужно. Возможно,
in
человеку на какой-то позиции
in
это
all
будет и
possible
не
degree.
нужно,
Maybe
потому
some
что у
people
него
in some
организация устроена
positions they
таким
won't need
образом,
that
что
because
ему не нужно
their
много общаться с
mindset is
другими
so
людьми.
that they
Ну,
don't
я
need to
вполне
talk to
считаю,
many people,
что
to other people. And I
для тех, у
think
кого это
that
не
for people
обязательно надо, ну,
for whom it's not
что
a
плохого в том, что человек
necessary
сидит, молчит?
skill,
Может,
so
он
what's bad if the
наоборот
person is
сидит
silent?
и в чатике
Maybe
смотрит, говорит,
they're just sitting
блин,
in the
такие
chat
банальные
and
вещи говорят эти
they're
дураки.
watching
Я
some
давно уже все это
banal
прошел, мне даже
things
вот
that
им
these
объяснять
people
ничего
are
не хочется.
talking
Может,
about, and they
слова,
don't
может
even
быть,
need to
люди как бы
explain
молчат не
anything.
потому, что там
Maybe
20
people are
человек позитивных,
silent
а потому что они просто
not because like 20 people are
как бы,
inactive.
а эти просто вот стендаперы АТБ.
They're
Ну,
just
поэтому все, мне кажется, вот это вот
That's
нарабатывается.
all I think that should be.
Да,
You
там
can actually
чуть
earn this
сложнее,
skill.
что проще, но
You can gain this skill. It's very easy.
ну, у меня перед глазами довольно много примеров людей, которые занимают высокие позиции, при этом они интроверты, но они научились разговаривать настолько, насколько им это
I have
нужно.
many examples of people who are introverts, but they can communicate as much as they need.
Первому лицу или...
У меня двое.
And who are you reporting to? Is that like a CEO of the company and to the vice
Одноклассников и
president?
VP ВКшник.
Да,
И
Yeah.
как тебе на двух стульях?
не жалуюсь.
Yeah, how about like trying to sit at chairs? You know, I'm not complaining. And who would it be easier for you to talk to CEO? And it looks like the CEO may be giving you assignments, and or with a vice president who may be indirectly, but still this guy to be knowledgeable, and he or she may actually be giving you assignments and stuff like that. You know.
Одинаково. То есть я когда в Москве...
Anyway, I think it's pretty much the same. Whenever in Moscow, I'm communicating with the VP, and in St. Petersburg would be a CEO, like two capitals. And
одинаково.
you know what? It's basically the same. I do not see any difference.
Даже что, там язык, что ли, переключается у тебя? Это такой...
Like it is not like you're switching between languages. You come to the InfoSec and you push like a L shift and Control shift. You know, okay, that's a different language, like a professional lingo in InfoSec. Or you step out, you go to the CEO, and you all of a sudden you change your language and you. No, Dow Jones is growing. It's not like you're speaking different languages. You have pretty much the same talk. Like, who do you love more, like your mom or dad? You know.
Зачем вы меня это спрашиваете?
Спасибо. Артем, вот три коллеги перед тобой, которые
Okay,
выступали,
Artyom,
они
three of your
подчиняются
colleagues speaking
первым
before you,
лицам, в своих компаниях, и, наверное, им
they
проще.
are reporting
Ты
to
в
the
ДИТе, то
CEOs
есть
of
ты
their company.
подчиняешься условно айтишникам.
You
Ты еще с кем-то
are
общаешься за
reporting to
пределами
IT guys. Are you talking,
по
communicating to
вопросам
anyone
кибербеза, или у тебя все
outside of
вопросы
the
решаются
IT
с
kind of bunch of
министром
guys?
по IT
Or are you talking only to the IT ministry? Like how's this communication built in your case with those guys who are providing investment, resources, and kind of supporting initiatives, and, or maybe doing something else? Well, so I'm staying in touch with Mr. Gorchakov, despite of his accent, don't always understand him.
Его не все понимают, не только.
Да, с Шапира проще. Вот, а на
That's not only you. But as a matter of fact, on top of my boss and deputy, actually, it's not only a minister, but a deputy minister that I have to be, staying in touch with. On a horizontal level, so to speak, I think, Alexei, even with you, we do stay in touch. Anyway, this includes regulators and executive branch of authority. They also have things to do, and we do cross our paths with them. And what else? We have different committees, like Information Security Committee, headed by a deputy mayor of Moscow. You may think it's like a horizontal level, but actually it's like a certain function structure where you understand that like one of your leaders are playing a certain role, because InfoSec. Look, how many people came to this forum today? About 20,000 people. Now, how many roles? There could be like tech guys and marketing guys. You name it. They are the whole industry. And if we also, like on the government level, they are the same guys with the same kind of roles. So.
Это ответ, да?
Но с акцентом тебе
No, that's cool, but gotta do something with the accent, though.
К вам, собственно, и в продолжении темы, вот насколько директор
I want to continue and ask you,
технарь. В свое время же
as a director, as a tech guy, you remember the case, the story, it was so widely circulated. I do not remember a company which was hacked, and the InfoSec lady, she was a musician. Like, how could she be InfoSec, officer, even though she did not have like a respective education? But no, the main role is communication, building trust, and getting feedback and identifying some pains. Look, it is not technical role to a large extent. Is that the case? Could it be like if you have the InfoSec officer or director in the company, somebody who has like a, let's say education or major in psychology, major in something which is not related to InfoSec, and at the same time to be efficient manager? That's a great question. I've been thinking about that, and no, by law, no, you gotta have like specialized education, but to achieve outstanding results, yes, you can. Like in any function, a manager is primarily you organize people, you understand priorities. Yes, you can stay in touch. You do not overload those guys with like details of your work, and at the same time, they know how to communicate with each employee, like about some inspection, or be it incident and increasing risks, and at the same time, you're like in a deck of cards, you kind of mixing them up, and there you have a great communication. So probably yes, and we do have examples like that almost in all over across the industry. Actually, we're kind of laughing at this woman. She was in charge of the InfoSec in the company, although she was a musician, or being a little bit ironic. But if we go back in history, back in the year 2000, when mostly people would go to get their college degree to get exemption from the mandatory military draft. Many talented pen testers who started doing that at 16 or 18 years old.
учиться менеджерами по туризму,
They would go to study like a tourist manager or linguist or marketer or economist
уже вот
as their
повзрослевших
major.
у которых
There are many guys like that.
Вот гуманитарные, чисто 5 лет отсидеть в универе.
Like a humanitarian kind of thing, that they were sitting in a university and then you open up and some of these like bug bounty guys and pen testing guys, and they used to be like a tourism manager major. That's okay. No. Again, if you have any questions, please lift up your hands and we'll give you a mic. And still, I want to ask a short question. Let's say, could an incident be a driver to come to your management and say, give me money, so it never happens again? Or you have to lay low, so to say, lest your boss came with a reprimand and would do something bad against the InfoSec officer. Because if you read in the chats, some people say like, we're looking for incidents to understand that we were underappreciated in the company, undervalued. Or somebody else is saying, no, I'm gonna write to general prosecutor for them to come with an inspection, and then there'll be a big, incident. Is that an option or not? I don't know, like, who could do that and why? But speaking about an incident or even a regulator, or let's say you have like inspection or hype in the media, it could be a motivation. Like you can write in this motivation for a couple of weeks, and at the same time they will think that yeah, let's give them more money and stuff, but it's not gonna work long term. Speaking about the long term, it is what we and the colleagues have been discussing. Yes, you can sit in your lab and wait for an incident to happen to draw your more attention. But okay, let's say a regulator came to you and they wrote a report, and they have so many points which require financing, but usually how it is happening.
Usually
it's going to take a long time. You need financing. Nobody's going to give you subsidies from the state budget. It's more like a strategic approach and kind of long-term approach that that if you do not have a financing for so kind of things which cost $500 million, you're gonna use some kind of out-of-the-box solution and introduce some kind of new functions in the process through carrying across value to other employees, and secondly, by raising or increasing the safety and security culture within the company. If you don't have money or if you don't have working hands, you basically can raise awareness of your company through kind of very systemic work, and by raising this awareness, you can actually decrease most of the risks that you are facing. Yeah. Thank you. Do I have any questions? Yes, please. Thank you for your presentation. Yeah.
Мы нет, у нас только маркетинг.
It's more like a discussion. It's not like a report. Here's my question to Albina as somebody from the state corporation. Let's say we have a corporation, and it's like issuing a tender to provide some high-tech services. And we have an entrepreneur who is willing to be a part of these public tendering procedures. And basically, will there be any requirements for the cybersecurity for entrepreneur? Yes, of course. I mean, we have a regulatory InfoSec requirements, and secondly, all the measures and all the confidentiality and security which have been adopted within an organization. And in my case, we submit more requirements, and we are asking you to provide some kind of information about the state of InfoSec if you are part of the tendering procedure. against what you may be liable under the legislation. It's a part of contract. Federal legislation 44 does not leave you too much wiggle room, Even if you have any contest, it is being regulated. So if you want to be a part of the a state-run or public company, you gotta be pretty much compliant to their InfoSec requirements. And licenses the same. If you speak about the licenses for a certain activity, you do not always have license, but still we submit this kind of claim because we have to. And speaking about something practical based on the real cases like incidents, if something happening through one of the suppliers, one of the contractors. Yeah. Yeah, it's like opening a box of Pandora here. So, my answer is yes. Yeah, I was given a mic. Yes, thank you. Hi, good evening. My question is, what kind of incidents are we speaking about? If we're speaking about, some kind of fatal and big, and everybody knows, okay, the damage was huge, monetary damage and reputational was huge. And what if something important happened in the InfoSec? I don't know. A bad actor got an access into our network, but our business simply did not understand consequences. I mean, the different levels of incidents. And in one case, the reaction could be, give us more money because we have an incident. In the second scenario, it could be, hey, they're not gonna give us more money. How do we carry across to the business unit that, hey guys, it is important not only for our department but also for the whole company? Your one incident is not going to scare your boss, but about 30 of them will. Just kidding. It's a way of manipulating. When you're trying to scare somebody, maybe it is important for us or for a company. We want to to prevent and B, to localize the incidents. We're not immune to them. And basically the incident itself, or what happens, it's an opportunity for you to talk to your boss. And if you know something is happening multiple times, multiple incidents, we can see a pattern. We can explain the pattern, right, to your management. No, or like a certain criteria. Yeah? Yeah, let's do the dialogue. Yeah, speak to me, talk to me.
Ну ты то не узурпируй всю власть.
No, it looks like I did not give the answer. Still, I would like to send. Well, the question was not about a certain criteria of an incident, but how do we explain the value of the incidents unless we have direct financial losses in the company? Yeah, I guess I would speak about this kind of non-tolerable events. We also have critical events. And it's not always about the business KPIs, So how do you communicate the gravity of the situation? Your boss will ask them of what they are concerned. It doesn't matter if they'll ask you or not. Incident has happened. You've localized it. And this is why you are here. And if they'll ask why and what, that means they've been impacted, and you can engage in a dialogue. So it's all about the boss, right? I mean, it's all simple, right? Why? I mean, with your permission, let's continue the discussion. No, you guys have such a dialogue, and we have a lot of people. And Roman would like to comment and maybe to even oppose to what you're saying. Again, the question is the answer, actually. If business does not understand that there are some consequences, that means it's not an incident. It's an incident for you. Incident in InfoSec, but for your company, it's like, okay, no, never mind, so what? Some guy, became an access and became the chief admin of the domain. We're working, we're fine.
электронные письма, отправляем.
We're sending emails.
Получаем,
Yes, we
один
do.
раз работает, работает, господи, да и все
One
прекрасно.
is working, it's
Для
fine, you know,
бизнеса
it's
это не
great.
значит ничего.
It means nothing to business, right?
Да, хотел добавить, по мнению коллег,
Yeah, I wanted to add one thing.
на любой инцидент дать
What is important is whenever you have an incident, you have to provide a structured and logical picture for your business. You answer like why this happened. What could happen if we did not do anything particular, and what are we prepared to do to prevent this from happening in the future? If you have it like a plain English kind of written, you know, like infrastructure, you know,
то это определенно плюс в копилку.
then
Говорю по своему
this
опыту.
will be to your advantage. I'm speaking from my experience. And all this kind of scaremongering, you guys did not give us money, and here you go, you know, in your face. That's also a strategy. But again, to break it down, in my answer, like if you have like a logical answer, it's okay, like 1, 2, 3, you know, point by point, bullet point. Thank you guys to build up on this topic again. In different industrial chats, people are like wailing and they're saying, many InfoSec officers, they're saying, I come to my boss and he's saying, go back, you're paid a salary, go and do things. We do not find communication. You're saying, yeah, you gotta guys, you have to, you know, expose the space and needs. But other people say they do not understand us. Should we continue to find this, you know, common ground with your boss? Or to say, no, you know, no, to hell with you and go back to a different place where you will be more appreciated. And now we have a lack of IT guys. It looks like you can always find a job in a different place. Roman?
У нас завтра будет киберслэм, и одна из моих тезисов...
We're going to have a Cyberslam tomorrow, and I think we have to look at ourselves through the eyes of our kids. And I was a kid, and I had a grandma, and I would go to school, and I had a biology teacher, and he or she, this biology teacher said that biology is the most important class in a school. And the kids have to know only that. And since nobody can be perfect, like, so oftentimes the InfoSec officers, they remind me this kind of biology teacher. They say, you know, without our InfoSec, everything is gonna go to hell. No, it's not. No, not at once, maybe not with you, but somebody else. But it cannot make it like a pinnacle, like a top story. Unlike, you know, without business, it's bad. And to say that unless you guys give us money, I've heard this a lot. Give us money, you know, like legislation, impose fines. No. We got an InfoSec incident, and now business will give us money. No. Business has different goals and priorities, and they may not care about the biology class in grade 7 or what have you. Business is surviving cash gap problem, and if you're InfoSec professionals, you just come because you have to, because you want to, because the team of 50 people, he wants to spend 250 million Russian rubles because they like nice toys. It is not gonna work. So if the InfoSec officers cannot explain to themselves why they're needed in this company, you're saying, oh, you're gonna die. No, anybody can do that. Like without IT, there'll be no data transfer, and things will die without the still will be no people, no sellers. Everything is gonna die without the economy. There'll be no planning, cash flow, cash gap. You're gonna die. I could continue this list forever. We should not make out something from ourselves. We all work within all business goals, and business needs to get some profit. And this is why, let us, you know, get more money from business because we cannot explain to them why we're needed, and let's try to scare them with kind of intolerable events. Yeah. Let's kind of scare the business management because we'll be fined I think we should try to understand more why we are needed in your company. Whether to leave company or not, it's up to you. Somebody's fighting to the end, somebody's like giving up at the first opportunity. Dennis, I want to ask you, you are one of the few who are saying that you studied MBA, now you study executive MBA. Why? Why? If you are InfoSec chief, if you're a CISO, why did you decide to go to MBA? Or is it a must, or you have an opportunity, but you actually could buy a book, just an MBA like a pocketbook, and read this pocketbook and you'll be fine?
Слушай, сейчас вроде в приличном обществе стыдно признаваться, что MBA, да, говорят по бизнесу.
I guess now people don't say anymore that I have my MBA degree.
Такой грех. Слушай, да, я, может,
I don't
просто
know.
очень умный человек или просто ленивый.
Maybe I'm not just a smart guy, maybe I'm too lazy. Anyway, why do you need an education if you have like a books and texts? Come on.
Из книжек и там условно.
You can get some knowledge from books and
5 лет, а образование получить
it'll take you 5 years, but you can get the whole education in a year. It's about timing. It's about speed of absorbing information.
Учиться, не учиться, у нас
You don't have to
людей, в принципе,
go to study and not. Maybe we actually have many good people without even business education. They're good managers and bosses. I just felt some kind of gap in my knowledge, and I thought, okay, I gotta go. I want to get my degree. If somebody else wants just to pick up the book, textbook, and finance textbook or product design, go ahead. I mean, they'll get you covered. For me, it was like more easier and more efficient to go to study. Somebody else just want to read a book. People are different, and
в целом это полезно, да.
all in all, I would say it's great. It's great. It is not just a whim. And, I'm being ironic, and some of my employees, they've told me, a bunch of crazy guys with an MBA, but you're just a cool guy, you don't have any MBA. But I haven't told them that I'm studying, get my MBA degree right now. How about all those who never got their MBA degree? Like, are they just written off and they're not valid anymore? Hey, it could go both ways. Albina, I have a question. I have a question for you. Let's say like a new CISO or an old CISO who's a freelancer, he or she is invited to a job interview. Are there any triggers you have to pay attention to so that business, okay, this business management understand what InfoSec is. And in this company, they want to just hire a CISO just to check off a box, and it will be like a boring job. When you go to a job interview, should you pay attention to any of these things? If you're a CISO, somebody came to me, Roman, and asked me, like, I was invited to go to Google. Should I go or not? And I don't know what to say. I'm sorry, it was not Google, but it was the Russian public state company. It's not about actually the type of organization who is calling you, inviting you, and you could be invited to different kind of companies. I think the question is great. It's valid. I never thought about that before. But it's about active listening. You come and you listen. What do they say and ask you? In addition to some practical knowledge, like regulatory stuff, like why are they inviting you into the company? Why is this job interview? And when you have counter actions, like why do you need it? Like what are the goals in your company? What do you guys want to do? What's your outlook in the future? Maybe even now you're having like some kind of challenge. And sometimes, like you said, they just want to hire a guy and forget about them.
Навыка уже какого-то такого личностного.
Check off the box. It's about your personal skill, being able to listen, being able to see, to understand the value of the company itself, what this company is all about that is trying to hire you. What are the strategic, goals and vision and functions?
И, возможно, это иногда помогает и
And sometimes you can Google and ask what this company is about. How long has this company been on the market, and what is its public and non-public story? And based on that, you come to a certain conclusion. It's like an aftertaste after conversation, especially when you come to this job interview. Sometimes you talk to the senior management of the company, and out of this communication you understand, you get a hunch, you understand, do they really want me? Can I just follow my value and grow professionally, or grow up on a career ladder? And based on that, you make a decision. And sometimes it happens that you think, hey, that's a cool team, I would like to be a part of it. To get more experience, or basically to be in this crowd. And after you get this kind of impressions, like 1, 2, 3, you make your decision. But when somebody's just calling you, hey, come and work in our company, why? Like, I don't see the point. Yeah. And we are coming on to the finish line. My final question would be, very oftentimes the CIS, it's like career is over. CIS. CISO. You guys are InfoSec directors and one expert. You guys are young and you. It's a long time to your retirement. Maybe retirement is not even gonna happen. Are you guys wanna be CISO, security operational chief information security officer, or maybe you have like career aspirations. You're saying I've been working like a CISO. No, I will never wish it even upon my enemies. Or you say, I've worked as a CISO, I know psychology, I know business, I know InfoSec, and that's why I can go and be operational director, or to be a CEO. I could be COO, or build a startup and communicate with business, knowing what they need and selling their solutions worth of $1 billion rubles. Like, what do you see yourself in 5 years?
Леш, спасибо за вопрос. Но давай я не самая релевантная выборка из присутствующих.
Hey, I am an independent expert, but anyway, speaking about my plans and realities, my career path led me to where I am today, and I was like a very commercial guy when I was responsible for cash inflow into my company and for like making money. But having come to this job of independent expert, it happened because I had to move up on my career ladder to understand how the company works, not in terms of revenue, but in terms of ensuring the production. CISO, like any other kind of company, is about manufacturing or continuing operations. Yes, you're managing people, and people do some functions, and basically, if you know how to organize technological process of CISO, we're speaking about CISO, and in my case, knowing commercial part, yeah, that's a quite a new spin on your career, and you know about production, you know about commercial part, and you know about like VP and board. You can work basically anywhere.
Okay.
So you could be the board member. Why not? Why not? Albina?
После спича Романа
After Roman's speech,
сегодня тоже уже
what can you
был такой
say?
тезис, что там мы не можем предугадать погоду, да,
Like we cannot predict the weather, right?
Но когда ты там к своему делу
And,
относишься из уважения к делу,
When you respect what you do, when you love what you do,
потому что ты этого хочешь, а не потому что там
And you
тебе
want to do
нужно
this,
делать.
not because
То,
you
конечно,
must or have to.
и вопрос
You
у меня
get to
остается,
not have to.
чем там, в каком
There are
направлении
no more
развиваться.
questions of
Вопрос, наверное, в том,
what should you do
как
next. And I
балансировать,
guess my
да,
whole
по
question is
жизни,
like,
да,
how
чтобы
can you
не
balance
перегореть, не выгореть,
not
и
to
там в
have a
один
burnout
момент не
and
поднять левую руку и не сказать.
not have a burnout and say, okay,
Поэтому
I
думаю,
quit,
что
I'm done. So I
развитие
think
именно в
that
части там,
this kind of
гипотеза,
development
оно
in
такое слишком масштабное. То есть
cybersecurity,
можно
it
много ответвлений найти,
it could be
и
different.
много
You
там
could
что
go many
откликнется.
ways. You could go
Поэтому я вот
many different
именно в таком
different
пока
paths.
ключе на настоящий момент для
And
себя.
this is my situation right now.
Спасибо.
Yeah.
Денис.
Слушай, ну что, на пенсии буду мемы рисовать, если это будет актуально. Вон
Well, I don't know.
публиковал в телеграм-канале.
Gonna be drawing some memes if you're publishing some memes in your channel.
Я его лет 5 назад нарисовал.
Like I drew this meme, 5 years ago.
Мне кажется, что вообще
Well, I think
потолок в виде
that this kind of like a certain ceiling, certain cap for CISO, for Chief Information Security Officer.
это имел какой-то
Like
смысл.
when you say careers over, yeah, that could be meaningful in info. In info, infosec, like if you are a CISO, it's not like a top of your career. Some people are CTO, people manage project offices. Everybody has their own path in life. It does not matter that after CISO your career is over and that's your absolute ceiling. No way. I think it's quite an abstract statement. There are many other options of where you could go and how you could develop in stuff. So, well,
даже тот, кто останется на ЦИСО, недостоин уважения человек, но вот он решил.
even if anybody is like a CISO, people have to commit their lives. And, somebody else may not want to do this. It's okay. So I think that
Ощущение стеклянного потолка, но, возможно, ложь.
this kind of feeling of glass ceiling could be a false dilemma.
Понял, спасибо.
Yeah.
Артем. Ну, в принципе, если тебе вот добавить к тому, что
Артем.
сказали коллеги, нечего, может быть, совет
If you
для
have nothing to add,
руководителей
maybe you can
ПИП.
give some advice to the CISOs.
Тогда
No, I also want to
помечтай.
dream.
Коллеги,
Well, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
После ДИТа я бы с удовольствием пошел, например, в позитив
What I could
технологий
do,
независимым экспертом.
I could go to Positive Technologies as an independent
Я понял.
sort of like consultant.
Здесь я серьезно, вот,
No, I'm just
абсолютно
kidding.
правильно,
Just
как
kidding.
Борис сказал,
Dennis is absolutely right. He pointed out this
общаясь
idea
с многими
that
коллегами, вот я вижу здесь даже в большей
having
степени
communicated
ребята
with many of my
растут,
colleagues, I can see that the guys are growing not like vertical but horizontally, expanding their competencies because we have many new threats and many new tools, and it's a lot of stuff to learn. I know my tech guys and those tech guys are acquiring new competencies. Are they willing to take my spot? God forbid, no, probably. Oh, no, man, never. No way. What's next? I don't know.
Я тебя
Oh,
уверяю,
you thought that they will say, yeah, we want to do
Не
that.
знаю, как у других моих технарей, что, по-моему, ничем не напугаешь. Вот, так
I don't know how about the others. Well, anyway, what I'm trying to say that no ceiling, no career ceiling. I don't know what to dream about because I enjoy what I'm doing. What's gonna be next? 10 years ago we had a totally different situation, and how now, in view of these like latest developments and the February of 2022, what's gonna happen? If Ukraine will be a part of digital NATO, and I have no idea what we'll be speaking about like in 3 years, and how are we gonna build our business. I think many interesting things we will see. Let's adapt. Let's wait and Evgeny, yeah.
Вне работы.
Нет, в рамках...
What are you dreaming about?
Да, очень понравился ответ. На самом деле, я хотел примерно то же самое сказать,
Yeah, I
что
wanted to say just about the same stuff that, yeah, your answer, I like your
вопрос
answer.
в том, что из себя будет представлять отрасль.
The point is, what the industry is going to look like in 5 years.
В смысле, виртуальная
We'll have like a more
везде искусственный интеллект.
virtual reality,
И
AI
определенно место для
across
нас
the
тут
board.
не то, что есть, а должно быть.
And yes, there is room for us. We gotta be here. We gotta do something. We have to develop. We have to stand our ground and come up with new things. That's a given because again, everybody is afraid of AI. Who is going to protect the population from AI? It's on us. So, speaking about the job, like actual job, that the job could be like a ceiling. Yeah, like the job of CEO is also a ceiling. The whole point is what kind of idea, what kind of prospects you may have. So my dream is to grow the industry. I got it. Thank you guys. Thank you guys, and I think we had quite a good conversation, even though 1 hour is never enough to ask, to say, to discuss. And with this, I would like to finish up this part of our discussion, CISO 2.0. And the main summary is do not be afraid to communicate to your upper management and build the chain of trust to be trusted and help you to deal with all the business challenges.